crazy day, everybody. Crazy day, and I told you this kind of thing was coming, um, and not to a perspective where I said, "Oh, C.J. Daniels is going to go." I did not see C.J. Daniels going. I wasn't privy to him going, but you're now starting to hear certain things about some of the players we were mentioning before. And now you're hearing even more when you're talking about DJ Pickett potentially decommitting from LSU potentially. You're talking about Cade Phillips, safety. It looks like he has decommitted from LSU. I'm not 100% certain on that, but it seems to be all signs are heading that way. You can't really be sure about anything with this recruiting thing anymore. You've seen some of the best recruiting experts get this thing completely wrong because everything makes sense for what they're pitching. Everything makes sense for what they're saying is what's going to happen, where this guy's going to go, that type of thing. The predictions, the expert predictions, all that stuff. But then a giant bag of money enters the equation, and people are starting to say, you're starting to see a lot of recruiting handlers, a lot of people like that saying, hey, start thinking about the business. The coaches, this guy, they all think about the business. They all think about the money. They're all going to that next team, taking that big next fat contract. You need to be thinking about this. This is affecting the young kids when they see this on social media. And it's not always a football decision anymore. And we understand that in the NIL era. I think that's going to be more present than ever. This signing day, which coming tomorrow, it's going to be a Nutter's Day. And I think a lot of the dominoes to be put in place for that have already been set in motion today. Just 1 second, actually. I've got to check my phone, and I'm literally using the phone to go live. Just 1 second. You're also hearing stuff about, I'm not sure if you're hearing stuff about this, but I'm hearing stuff about this at least. This could be all over the forums at this point. Keelan Moses. Just kidding. You all know what's going on with Keelan Moses. It seems like he's saying, hey, you're showing your true colors. You're doing it. Like, he's posting comments from On3's forum. To kind of say, hey, look, these guys are, ragging on me. And I gotta say, Keelan, bro, I'm gonna talk directly right to you, man. Don't be that soft to let some dumbasses online, some faceless people you'll never meet, literally tell you, hey man, you gotta go here, you gotta go there, and if you don't, we're gonna kill you. You're a piece of shit. Oh, you're terrible. We knew you were a traitor. All that type of stuff. You're really gonna let that affect you? Really let that get you upset enough to decommit and go to Texas A&M? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Let's pause before we go crazy and go, nuts. Have you seen the Yell Squad? May I remind you about the Yell Squad, Keelan? Like, bro, we saw what happened with Dylan. Yes, he went to Alabama and had a great college career, but he sacrificed himself for a terrible, terrible, like just an evil empire program, and it did nothing for him. When you show out at LSU, even if you don't play a snap or a down or a second in the NFL, even if you don't get a sniff of the NFL, if you rep for LSU and you play as well as I think you could for LSU, you'll be a legend forever. You could be employed forever. You'll never have to buy a drink in any bar forever. Pay for a meal forever in the state of Louisiana. So, bro, just kind of think about, the realities here. Is A&M really, you really want to suit up for A&M? That's all right. But, bro, really, you're gonna let a few haters get you soft on your commitment? Come on, bro. That's just a little message for Keelan Moses at a signing day. I think he's ready for something more. You want to be challenged. You want to be really raise your game. You want to go through the gauntlet of the SEC, or you want to have it easy and really not be prepared for that next level when it comes. You can go to A&M if you want to not be prepared for it and just kind of take this little coasting 7-5, 8-4 route every single season, or if you want to go to LSU. So that's my pitch to Keelan Moses. But you're seeing a lot of stuff like that. You're seeing DJ Pickett and his father posting stuff of the chess pieces and the it's become a game. It's become a game. And LSU losing CJ Daniels. That's that's one I didn't see coming. I really didn't. Maybe I didn't dig enough, but CJ Daniels didn't seem like he was like angry with the team and had displeasure with the team because he didn't reach the end zone and he didn't have a good year for LSU of like 478 or something like that through the air. He had a strong year, and if you watch the tape, but he played through so many injuries. The kid was hurt the whole time. He didn't even have a chance to really show what he could do. I'm not blaming him at all. But this was nowhere near his Liberty form. 1,000 yards, 1,078 yards, I think 10 touchdowns in 2023 for Liberty. This was a whole nother world. And he didn't receive the targets maybe he should have. He didn't receive some of the big plays he should have, but he was constantly hurt. Injury marred season. But I should have seen this coming when one of our complete asshole fans, and people say, oh, fans don't affect this stuff. Fans don't make these guys leave. Fans don't, social media comments aren't going to change a guy's commitment. You know what? Seeing what I've seen over the years behind the scenes, I've seen this happen more than a few times. And you just saw it happen with CJ Daniels, because this is what I believe happened. His mother's epilepsy. His mom has epilepsy. LSU were honoring her by putting a purple patch with this epilepsy symbol on the helmets. This fan, this complete, just complete asshole, this kid literally posts like, I don't give a about this N-words mama. I don't give a fuck about this N-words mom. I just want Bryce Underwood. That's what he put. And CJ Daniels responded to it and was like, you are not going to be disrespecting my mom. And like was absolutely rightfully calling that shit out. And me and a lot of other LSU fans went at this guy. Like, so CJ could see, like, we got your back. Like, we don't put up with this as a fan base, But think about the mindset of a young man who transfers to a team, has a very frustrating year, and then on top of that, okay, well, LSU are doing this great thing for my mom, but then like the fans just shit all over it with just that one dude's comment. And it doesn't have to be the entire fan base. It just has to be this one guy who says something that just cuts deep just enough. This is also about offensive decisions going forward. Let's be real here. This is also a business decision with what CJ is doing, where he's going after this. But this hurts LSU's offense. This hurts our offense next year. This is a guy who's proven 1,000-yard receiver, 10+ touchdown receiver, filled with fully healthy and offense with Nuss. Now Chris Hilton Jr. fully healthy, taking the top of the defense off. And maybe that's the problem too. We should have been throwing balls when CJ Daniels was healthy. Should have been throwing deep balls to CJ. And we were just throwing some really terrible routes to him all season. Nuss making these crazy, complex NFL throws, but then why are we calling these plays? They're such dangerous throws, and luckily Nuss has the arm to pull it off. And luckily CJ Daniels is such a great route runner, we can pull these things off. But it means nothing. It gets us like 2-3 yards, and then CJ Daniels would get the crap knocked out of him on some of these routes and pick up these injuries. How many big plays do you remember from CJ Daniels? And it's not really like through his fault. Usually he's like making this catch and then getting, smashed right at the spot. I can't remember any yards after a catch. I can't remember any big plays down the field. And that's injuries. That's the offensive play calling. That's the role they had him in. That's everything. One second. I gotta check in something else. Faisal Sheikh says, "What's the word on DJ? We need to keep him at all costs now." There's people saying the streets are saying this, the streets are saying that. No. Like, don't get caught up in this whole don't get caught up in this whole this must mean this then, and this equals this then. None of this makes sense. And some of these things are connected, of course. Some of these things, someone leaves because of this guy going here, or as you saw with Ricky Collins, it wasn't necessarily that Nussmeier is probably returning, that that Ricky Collins went to the portal. It was most likely because Colin Hurley, as he told LSU Odyssey, will be returning next year. He said he's locked in as he's always been. We can't do anything but take him at his word. So, as we put on the site, I think like a week ago. Then Ricky Collins Jr. heads to the portal, and now DJ Pickett, the crown jewel of this class now after the loss of Bryce Underwood. I can't tell you where this is going to go. I can only tell you what I've been told. One second. All I can tell you is what I've been told. What I've been told is there is a lot of money involved. Once again, I mean, it's just kind of like making me apathetic to all of this, you know. Like I'm digging. I'm trying to report this as deep dive as I can, but some of this, it's just going to come down to money. How much does LSU value bringing in Jakeem Stewart? Like at all costs? Then I think Frank Wilson will get it done, you know. But I just don't think Brian Kelly is at that all costs point unless it's someone who has proven themselves already on another roster in this conference at the highest level. I can see Kelly going to that level now with a player of that type of that ilk, a CJ Daniels. But now you've seen CJ Daniels leave because obviously he wouldn't be going if LSU were paying him more. But I think the offense and the failures of the offense, he had 0 touchdowns. You know that has just got to be something that really sticks in his craw and he just keeps him up at night. You're a receiver. I mean, remember when Malik Neighbors finished 2022 with over 1,000 yards, best receiver on the team, outshines Kayshon Boutte, and he only finished the season with 3 touchdowns. Remember that? It was sickening, and so it was justice when full circle justice when Malik went off and had, what was it, 14 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns in 2023. So, you know, you thought, okay, CJ Daniels will come back and he'll do something like that. He was not going to accept the 0 touchdowns. He's not going to accept, I think, the direction of this offense, obviously, because he hit the portal. Now, the worst thing for LSU that could happen right now is the loss of Garrett Nussmeier to the NFL. And I am told multiple players are going to be, you know, declaring they're going to the NFL today. Will Campbell, LSU, we saw him lead the way, likely to be a top 5 pick, top 10 pick. I would hate to see him drop in this draft because he allowed a sack finally this season. Like, are you kidding me? This dude is incredible. He didn't allow a sack for over 2 years. And the sack he allows, it's because he's got 2 redshirt freshmen on his inside who are getting blown up, and it took his, you know, he's going like this, trying to make sure, you know, and just that little hesitation allowed that guy to make that move and get that hit on Nuss. So, like, Campbell's been amazing. What a force for LSU. What a legend for LSU. And it's not really just what Will did on the field and how unstoppable, what a wall. I mean, just what a brick wall this dude is. And you knew you're going to have to replace him after the season. He's too good. He had to go to the NFL draft. But it's just that he was such a leader, wouldn't accept anything less, old-fashioned, old school. And the problem is there weren't enough guys like him on this roster or the roster in 2023 to kind of like help these teams take that next step into being a championship program, championship team. You lose a guy like Will Campbell. That's like taking a slice of the heart out. And we knew it was coming. But it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt anyway. You lose CJ Daniels, though. That's one out of left field you didn't see coming. Now, you're going to get some safeties out of the transfer portal. And from what I'm hearing, this team could be loaded at safety next year in a good way. I got to check something again. Everybody, we will go live continuously throughout the day. We just wanted to get in here and get this while it's hot because this is just crazy. We will continue to go live when things continue to drop. And we've got some news of our own coming very soon. Go Tigers, baby. Go fucking Tigers.